tired of women ruining good men. I see all these women sitting here crying about how shitty men are, but nobody's talking about how shitty y'all are. Men are not here to provide us with a golden life on a silver platter. Men are not here to be controlled by us or to cater to our every need. Men are not here to pick up the slack for lazy ass women. I'm so sick and tired of seeing these women get in relationship with men and control every aspect of their life or try to change him. Y'all knew who that man was when you started dating him. You need to accept him for who he is or not date him at all. I am just so tired of y'all ruining these good men for the rest of us.
I mean, that's some facts right there, gentlemen. It's hard to disagree, really, and I think a lot of us are tired. Like, a lot of people who watch my channel, a lot of people who watch other channels on this side of the internet, guys, we're all tired. Okay, we've got men coming out of relationships just now, realizing what the hell was happening to them, not knowing up from down, being all sorts of confused, and that's not even talking about the divorce courts, okay? But what is going on, gentlemen? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video, and on today's show, guys, we're covering some more TikToks, breaking them down together. So as we go through, gentlemen, feel free to leave your comments, your thoughts, any disagreements, leave them in the comments, guys. That's what they're there for. And we'll be cracking into it momentarily. Couple of announcements. I'll be doing this announcement at the beginning of a whole bunch of videos as we go through. But as you all know, the channel got a warning recently for what I don't know. They won't tell me. So guys, I don't know how long this channel is going to be around for. It could be around for, it could be around for a very, very long time. It could be around for a very short amount of time. I have no way of knowing, and that's just the way of YouTube. But I'll be continuing to make content for you guys as long as I'm allowed to. With that in mind, if you want to just be notified of where the hell, let's just say I get striked and I can't post for a week, if you guys want to know what's happening to the channel, I'd encourage you to join the Discord. It's totally free. Not going to lie to you, it's a total mess over there. We've got a few thousand people in there, but there are announcements and stuff like that in there. You get tagged and you get a notification, so that's a great way to stay in touch with the channel. Also, I will be setting up a locals account like Better Bachelor has, so I'll be moving a lot of stuff over there, and that'll be totally free as well with a support option. So guys, those are the two pathways that we're exploring right now. Just thought I would give you guys a heads up. But I will be continuing to make YouTube content for you guys until such time as they boot us off the platform, because as we all know, YouTube is not a fan of this kind of content. They're not a fan of men talking about what's going on. And that's just really sad to see, but that's a discussion for another time. We're just going to jump straight in here.
To buy me something, give me money, send me somewhere on vacation while you work. If you're going to hit me with the, babe, go ahead and pay it, and I'll pay you next week when I get paid. Bleh. Listen, my advice to you is to stay single and save your money. You cannot afford to be in no relationship.
Yeah, okay. I've got nothing against having some money. I think that men should aim for money, should aim for the things that they care about, prioritize their family and stuff like that, and their well-being. I think that men should prioritize their body and stuff like that ahead of a relationship. However, when it's you on the other end saying this, and what I mean by you saying it, if you're saying, well, I need a man to earn a certain amount before he comes into a relationship, hey, that's totally cool. Have that opinion, have that preference if you want, but you have to understand that men have a set of preferences too, and you have to also understand how that might make you look to some people. Okay, if you're saying that men have to earn a certain amount, again, you're welcome to say that, but men are going to kind of look at you as though that's a bit of a red flag, okay, because no man wants to feel as though he's paying his girl to be there. Like, when we talk about on this channel men's standards and stuff like that, we're not complicated. We're not like these complicated mythical beings, man. Like, men's preferences are just that you're not a pain in the ass, really. You're attractive. You're not a pain. You're not a thorn in his side. We talked about this last video. If you caught that from a few hours ago, men are not looking for some sort of. I don't speak for all men when I say this. Maybe it's just me. You guys let me know. But we're not looking for like a challenge. Like this whole oh yeah, I'm a strong independent. It's like, cool, you can be strong and independent, but realize when you're in a relationship, particularly if you're a girl who's shooting up, like you're trying to get a guy who's above you, which is typically how it goes, please understand he's not going to want to deal with this crap. Okay? and again, I will say this: I have no problem with men chasing money, chasing their careers and stuff like that. As long as you're doing kind of what makes you happy and what's in your best interests, as a man going forward. But when you come to discussions about relationships like this, please expect that people are not going to take you too seriously. Again, I don't care if this lady has these standards. I personally couldn't give a crap about her standards. But just understand that there is kind of a middle ground there.
Especially with a woman like me.
Right. Why am I? And we have to skip this one because of some questionable language, but let's continue.
Down, Hoe Edition. Put a finger down if your body count is over 3. Put a finger down if you've already sent naughty pics. Put a finger down if you've made out in the bathroom. Put a finger down if you're flirting with a guy during quarantine that you know that you will never see, like, ever.
That's something we're going to have to talk about. I talk about this on pretty much every video, guys, because it seems to come up that it's so common. I'm so sick of, like, as you all know, I have the Patreon at the bottom of the screen, and sometimes guys will send dating questions to me, and they'll say, "Oh, Taylor, what should I do here? I've been talking to this girl, blah, 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 but she's kind of not meeting up with me." We are not here to provide this attention and validation and stuff like that. The reason why, a second ago, I said I'm happy for men to chase their money and chase whatever they care about, their hobbies, whether that be their body and stuff like that. The reason why I think that's great is, one, because it's good for the men, but two, it's very counterproductive to be going out here validating these girls. Like, because what happens is they get too big for their boots, so to speak. And it just really ruins the dating market, okay? Because they overvalue their worth, and what that results in is nobody is happy. The women aren't happy, the men aren't happy, everyone's having dating issues because these girls are getting their heads blown up. So what I'm trying to say here is, please don't be engaging in these long-form conversations, because you don't even have... Guys, get this. You don't even have to compliment a girl for her to be validated. You giving away your time is validation to these girls. Please understand that, okay? I'm so sick of people out here pretending as though men's time is just not valuable at all. Like, men's time is valuable, and everyone wants to pretend as though it's not, so that they can kind of milk it. You see what I'm saying? Like, girls want to say, "Oh yeah, a real man would do this, or a real man would do that." What they're really trying to do is they're trying to get at your free attention. Okay, so just be real careful of that.
Put a finger down if you've kissed more than 5 people. Put a finger down if you've lied about your virginity. Put a finger down if you've hooked up with someone more than 3 years older than you.
Why did she do like a... You know what, I'm not going to even ask. We all know the answer, but...
Put a finger down if you've had a friends with benefits. And lastly, put a finger down if you've talked to 3 or more guys at once.
I mean, that was just very enlightening for us all. Fantastic piece of content there. It's... Like, these ladies are... I will say this. They're entitled to do whatever they want to do. They can make the decisions that they want to do as long as they're not harming anyone else. I'm pretty sure most of us can agree, like, who gives a crap? But, these kind of decisions, when men either A, figure out this kind of crap, or B, it happens to them in general, please understand that it's not just the men who are suffering as a result of this. We mention this all the time. But if you're a girl and you're doing these sorts of things, they actually come with consequences. You see, you might believe that they don't come with consequences, but they certainly do. Okay, because while this is something that's echoed throughout this side of the internet a lot, while you care about a man's future, we care about your past. Okay, and you can say that's unfair, you can say that's unjust, but people go to jail all the time for their past, okay? This is not something that anyone is exempt from. Your actions do define you, and what you say and what you do define you. Alright, so you got all these girls going out here and doing that. That's totally fine. But understand that, it's going to come back and bite you in the butt, okay? In a myriad of ways it can do that. But again, it's just... It's really concerning, because what'll end up happening is it just ruins it for everyone. Okay, you'll get the girls who will get later in their life and realize what a mistake they've made because they're alone and they've got cats and they're on, XYZ medication. And then you've got the guys at the end who, by the way, the guys end up kind of better for it, because men can have kids like well later into their life and they can kind of satisfy themselves more happily with hobbies later on. But make no mistake, you got a lot of men going through pain when they start to realize what the hell is happening to them. Let's read this. Okay, so when everyone warned you he was a player, but you thought you could be the one to change him, and ended up getting played. Yeah, that's how quote unquote relationships look like in 2021. Like this sums up everything basically perfectly right there. She wants the guy who she feels as though she can change, but she can't change. Like she wants the chance of changing him, but she can't actually do it.
Oops, my heart went.
Excuse me. What the
Turn
hell is this?
it off.
I mean, like we saw that exact kind of thing on the last video from a few hours ago. If you guys have watched that, but just another comment on that. A lot of times tears are fake. Okay, like the fact that I have to say that this is incredibly sad, and a lot of you who watch this at home, you've realized this, right? Like when I pull up a video of a girl crying, you'll go, "Oh, crocodile tears," and I'm glad that a lot of you understand that there are crocodile tears out here. But we got a lot of men walking around out here who just have no idea that this kind of crap exists. They want to get into a relationship with a girl, she'll be crying, and what she'll be doing is she's actually leveraging her emotions against you so that she can get something. Whether that be, you doing a task or you just becoming more compliant in general. Tears actually do serve a purpose, gentlemen, so please don't, like, we got a lot of guys over here who are, and I hesitate to use this word, but nice guys, like genuinely good people, who care about their family and friends and stuff like that. Please don't let people exploit your empathy for others. Okay, I think that's a that's a very disgusting thing that's going on at the moment. Because despite what society may tell you, a lot of guys do have a soft spot and do care about other people. And if other people are crying, they're going to want to solve it, okay? But please just stop yourself for a moment and consider whether the tears are actually real. And hell, even if the tears are real, that doesn't always mean that you should change your actions for the person that's crying. Okay, if you're doing something, putting up a boundary or something like that, a lot of times, sometimes those boundaries will be met with tears, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes in relationships, if you put up those boundaries and you say no to certain types of behaviors, you're going to encounter this. And I don't care if it's real or fake tears. A lot of times you just have to kind of sit through it and say, you know what, this is my decision to make, and I'm not going to change my behavior because someone's crying at me hoping I will change my behavior. Because it's manipulative. And it's not in your best interests, okay?
Okay, I want to tell you a story about my boobs.
Can I even play this? We'll risk it, boys.
So my boobs are fake. They're fake. But they're anatomical implants, and 9 times out of 10 men cannot tell the difference. I've had them for 10 years, and I still have to reveal to men that they're fake. Props to my doctor. But anyways, the point is, I was dating this guy, and we had been together for about 6 months. We were having a little chit-chat about our non-negotiables in a relationship. And he looks at me and says, I would never date a woman with fake boobs. I'm into natural women. And I look at him and go, you realize my boobs are fake, right? And then he says, no, they're not. No, I would know. And I say, I'm pretty sure between the two of us, I would know. And then he just shrugs like, oh, well, I guess I like fake boobs then. And it's so weird, because no one accused me of lying to him. He told me I had deceived him into motorboating fake boobs.
Okay,
or that I was less of a woman for having a man-made part. Nobody knew before we slept together that my boobs are fake, but nobody cared. And in case you missed the point, trans women are women.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I did miss the point. I kind of zoned out, and I really stopped caring, to be honest with you. Like, I watch a lot of these TikToks, and I try and listen so I can respond to their points, but there are some times when I zone out, and I genuinely just don't give a crap, and that was one of those times, so I apologize for that. But I will say this. I'd like to touch on, not necessarily what she was talking about there, but makeup in particular. You'll get a lot of people who will be very frustrated when men say things like, oh, well, when men realize that girls are actually two different people with and without makeup, girls get really offended by that. But here's the thing. Okay, let me put a hypothetical to you guys, and I'm just going to move the screen forward so we got something to look at here. I mean, whatever the hell is happening here, but you know what? We're gonna skip this one. Actually, goodness me. There's something interesting about that's to be said about makeup. Okay, so you'll get a lot of girls who will be like, oh, well, it shouldn't make a difference whether I've got makeup on or not. A real man would accept me whether I'm beautiful or not. Okay, but then if you turn the tables and let's just say you lie to a girl about your profession, how much money you earn, stuff like that, oh, she's got all sorts of problems because, you see, it's fine when she obscures her value from you, but it's not fine when you obscure your value. You see what I'm saying? So like this, what you have to understand is that men and women, like, we trade different things. Okay, so a lot of the times girls will trade their femininity, their youth, excuse me, their agreeableness, their femininity. Okay. And men will exchange things like their resources, their time, and their commitment. Okay, so what'll happen is when girls lie about their appearance and their youth, men get mad. Okay, but when you as a guy you lie about your income and your ability to provide for her, then she gets mad. And I'm not saying either of those positions are right or wrong. Like, at the end of the day, we're just biological creatures. Like, men are going to be attracted to youth, women are going to be attracted to resources. I don't particularly care much for whether that's right or wrong. I haven't got a horse in the race, so to speak. But you've got to acknowledge that, both people, when they're getting into relationships and when men and women are dealing with each other, we have like a different set of criteria. And there's nothing wrong with the different criteria. But to kind of ignore one and then push forward another seems a little bit hypocritical, or, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a bit of a double standard, wouldn't you say, gentlemen? Let's continue. Okay, no, we're skipping that because that's a bit questionable, and we're skipping that because that's a bit questionable as well.
Would get married faster if they just hold back. Don't give him sex. Don't move in with him. Don't cook and clean. Don't do anything that is wifey duty if he's only giving you girlfriend budget.
Budget. Isn't it interesting how many times during this video we've kind of had to cover finances? Like, it seems like finances are real important, huh? Like, not once have we talked about, love or anything like that. You noticing a theme here, gentlemen? Like, you might watch my videos and say, oh, Taylor, you're just incredibly cynical, and that would be a fair point to make. But, you got to look at it objectively sometimes, guys, and I'm just not seeing where love is entering into the equation. It seems to me, gentlemen, like relations between people are a trade. And, I don't think it's wise to lie to men about what they offer in that trade and try and get them to give it up for free. What the hell am I watching? Yeah, we're going to skip through and see what the next one is. Goodness gracious me, what the hell am I watching here?
Next door. I'm a supermodel.
I don't care who the IRS sends. I am not paying taxes.
Oh, wait, you got a boyfriend?
Oh, no. I think I know this clip. I apologize for this, guys. We kind of got to scan through here, but...
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing out here, then, girl?
He trusts me. He know where I'm at. He got my location. He know what I look like. Hey, daddy. I'm stuck your when I get home.
Okay, yeah, goodness me. Alright, I'm sorry that I have to keep pausing, but I kind of have to make sure everything's A-okay. This lady just clearly on the town, has a boyfriend. I mean, I don't care whether he can trust you, but are you not by definition just breaking his trust right now? You know what I mean? It seems kind of redundant, the fact that he trusts you, when the reason for trust is you not engaging in this kind of behavior that you're doing right now. So, maybe that's just me. I mean, and that kind of thing is, the reason why I laugh at this, guys, is because, this man is in a subservient position. Okay, and typically what happens, I don't care how long they've said they've been together, but if a man is in this position, a lot of times what he's actually dealing with is he's going to be dealing with a tremendous amount of disrespect or some form of cheating or something like that. If she's not cheating, she's definitely, excuse me, she definitely doesn't respect him, okay? So if you're a guy and you're out there working, and then you're coming home and you're doing all of this kind of stuff for her, and so that she doesn't have to do anything, please believe that the respect is not going to be there. Okay, if you're giving away all this kind of crap for free, and she's doing nothing, and because that's what it seems like she's doing, not participating at all, you got to understand that you will lose respect as a consequence of that, and that's really sad to say, but we're past the time where you could just do you know, you could just be nice to people just because. Yeah, again, nobody
A couple
gives
of
a
years
crap.
ago, a guy named Eugene came in to see me. Eugene was about 46 years old. He had been divorced about 7 years. He had a 10-year-old child and a 12-year-old child. Now, Eugene had been faithfully paying child support to the tune of about $600 a month for the last 7 years. The problem is that he had been paying it directly to his ex-wife, writing her a check every month, rarely missed a payment, and if he did, he made it up the next month. The problem was that the court order that ordered him to pay child support ordered him to pay it through the state, in this case, Tennessee. And in Tennessee, you have to pay it through the child support receiving unit. He hadn't done that. He had paid it directly to her. Well, he got a letter from the state saying that he was over $40,000 in arrears, and he was going to have to pay $40,000. You want to know what happened? Well, tune in to part 2 to see what happened.
I mean, we can all speculate what the hell happened, and, you know, I'm not as knowledgeable as perhaps some of the people that we've got over there, guys, but I would venture to say that no matter what, he's in a crap situation. Okay, as if the girl is going to turn around and go, you know what, darling, you don't owe that 40 grand. It's going to be a-okay. And this is what we talk about on this channel. When men are just out here getting screwed over left and right, because please believe, a lot of times that quote-unquote child support, not necessarily going towards a child. I mean, it could be, but let's be honest, guys, a lot of the times it might not be. Guys, we're going to leave today's episode there. As always, leave your thoughts and comments below, what you guys think. If you disagree with anything I've said, feel free to do so. That is what the comments are for. As always, we're just going to rehash the announcements here. The channel is on thin ice. I don't know why. YouTube hasn't told me, which is absolutely fantastic. So guys, if you would like to kind of, you know, just make sure you're in the loop with the channel, I would recommend getting into the Discord. It's totally free. Fair warning, it is an absolute mess in there, but it is a great way to be notified the direction of, you know, if anything changes with the channel. I'll be posting it in the announcements tab over there. Totally free to join. The other thing that will be happening is over the next few days, whenever the hell the community gets approved, I will be moving to, well, at least moving some content and stuff over to locals, which will also be free with a supporting option. So that'll be a nice move. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with Better Bachelor, who is doing a very similar thing at the moment. Because, guys, as we all know, YouTube at the moment, not particularly happy with content like this, with men kind of leaving the scene and warning each other, which is very sad to see, but it is what it is. We're going to wrap up today's video there. As always, if you enjoyed, guys, make sure you subscribe on your way out. Yeah, join that Discord, and as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will see you boys in the next one. Peace.